Hello, hello, hello. We have a new chapter of One Piece. Chapter 974. This one is called Onward to Onigashima. That means, of course, that the flashback must be coming to an end. That we will return to present day at long last, where our would-be heroes are standing in despair at the edge of the ocean. All of their boats and resources totally sabotaged. Shogun Orochi one step ahead, destroying all the bridges and the ships. Even the Thousand Sunny seems like it may have suffered during this. So first on our cover story, hooray, hooray! Gyari saved the Godfather's wife. I'm sure he will be either highly praised for it or chastised for carrying her in such a rough way. She seems totally happy, but he might not be seeing that. Yeah, I'm not really sure where this cover story is going. They're gonna presumably reunite with Lola. That'll be nice, but could there be a greater consequence on the plot? I was mostly interested in the germ pirates or whatever. I really like those guys. I hope that's not the last we see of them. Okay. So we return to when Kyoshiro, now the boss of the underworld, that's his name, right? Kyoshiro, decided to support Lady Hiyori in secret as she becomes Lady Komurasaki. More coins for you, Ishimitsu. You're putting yourself in danger again. This should be an NBC 10. Yeah, and we also found out he was the one, the shadowy Robin Hood figure of Wano that was stealing from the rich and giving to the poor. Just remember to wear your blood bags under the kimono, my lady. Orochi's completely smitten with you. He has no idea that you're Lord Odin's daughter. Yeah, that is kind of interesting, isn't it? That in the end, Orochi was, even though he'll like never be aware of it, even though it may not have actually mattered to him, there is something quite sickening when he's fawning over and lavishing over the daughter of his sworn enemy, the daughter of the person that he schemed his entire life to destroy. When time comes, we will separate Komurasaki from Orochi through quote-unquote death in order to keep you safe. Is Komurasaki not actually dead? Is Lady Hiyori not actually dead? Does Wano have a new empress? I think that would make more sense than the kid, whose name just totally dropped out of my head. Momo-chan. I can't think of his actual name. Momotaro. Momotaro is just a kid. Can he really sit upon the throne once the Kozuki clan is rightfully destroyed to Wano? I don't know. Anyways, she might not be dead after all. Few months ago, come for me, the ghosts of the past. They've really come. Toki's powers were real after all. Kinemon, Kanjuro, Raizo, Kikonojo, and Momonosuke. Momonosuke, what did I say? Momotaro? I took a guess. 5 of them have leapt into the present from that very day 20 years ago. How really exists? They escaped from that burning castle. Sure, but look at this letter. Sure, spot people leaving the country. So this is when Raizo, Kinemon, and Kanjuro and Momonosuke set out to try to find allies. That they were on their way to Zou. Of course, they got waylaid at Punk Hazard when they fatefully encountered the Straw Hats, and all of this insane saga begins. Like really think about that. We had Dressrosa and Whole Cake in between, which weren't too related to this, but the direct seeds for this story had started all the way back in Punk Hazard. Well, don't kill them if they're still alive. I've got questions for the Kozuki survivors after the last 20 years. And here we can see that Kaido seems to really have changed over the 20 years. That the depression and the boredom of life setting in. Sure, he's still a tyrant. Sure, he's still wielding his power above all. But these questions that he has for the Kozuki survivors, I wonder, like, is he beginning to kind of take an interest in the overall fate of the world? Maybe it's not so much good-natured. Maybe it's, I seem to suspect that there's even more power out there in these ancient weapons and what have you. But it certainly doesn't seem like the attitude of this kind of upstart pirate that just wants gluttonously to take land and resources and stuff. Yes, I'm quite curious about these questions. This man is a trustworthy one, born into a popular theater troupe. His parents right on stage due to persecution within Ueno. Family of daimyo killer. The only life he knew was in theater. Utterly adrift, only served by acting out a role. Okay. Just beginning. Live your life as a true Kozuki, and ultimately, without a single soul noticing, you will die as a Kozuki. The grand role I can give you for this stage, can you play it for me? Whoa, 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 wait a minute. So this shadowy figure, who in silhouette appears like blobby and incorporeal, but I'm not sure if that's just in representation of how mysterious they are, because they're being offered a devil fruit, so clearly they don't have devil fruit powers already, and thus currently they just look like that, I guess? Anyways, so hold on. This means that someone claiming to be part of the Oh, whoa, wait, hold on. Okay, so before I was confused, like, wait, Hiyori was Komurasaki? And I was like, oh, I must have just forgotten something. I must have just gotten a couple characters conflated in my head. But wasn't there, like, another Hiyori? Was there a fake Hiyori this whole time? Is that how the sabotage happened? That one of them was fake Hiyori, this actual person who's just a loyalist to the Kurozumi family? Is that what's going on here? I'm a little confused. Someone explain. Manga, explain. But always searching for the right place to bury my bones. It would be an honor. Who the what? Why does he look like that? I thought it was just kind of shadowiness in silhouette. But they actually look like that? And this is before eating a devil fruit? And what is this devil fruit that they gave him? Because we can see the old crane is back there. She's still alive. She has the clone fruit. But like, this is just a few months ago, right? So when did she die and the clone fruit was transferred to Mr. Tuban Clay? Dude, I'm confused. Oda, please explain. Okay. Only pleasure is in becoming another person. Every time I went to Oden Castle to borrow money, he brought me twice the necessary amount out of the safe. Only because I had that stockpile that I was able to join forces with you. The information he brought about that fool Oden's raid was helpful too, I assume. The part that made him truly insane was at the execution. He was fully prepared to die alongside Oden. He has no mind of his own. He lived as a perfect vassal of Kozuki until I stopped him, and he sent me information all the while. So faithful, it was almost eerie. Okay, so this was actually a while ago. Okay, so that explains why the old crane and stuff is still here. This flashback is, yeah, we can tell because they're in the impoverished Kurozumi family. So this is an ally that Orochi has from the start. Okay, I got a little confused in the chronological ordering there. So way back, before Oden left and came back, one of his vassals was actually an agent of Kurozumi. But, really? Oh, no. Oh, really? But, like, we've seen them all so much. Like, we love them all. Everyone up on the Super Bowl that could have been boiled alive just with Oden. There was a traitor amongst them. Is that really true? So that means that of the people standing out there looking onto the water, the traitor is still amongst them? Oh, that's like brutal. That's something that One Piece doesn't do very often, is to have moments of like genuine camaraderie, moments where you're like, yes, these are my nakama. And then later, the surprise, no, they were feeding information to the enemy the entire time. Who though? But who? But who? Live your life as a true Kozuki. Okay, well, I guess we'll find out. So the flashback is ending. The last clue that answers the final question of how did the betrayal happen, or we didn't even know it was a betrayal, but how did the sabotage happen? How were all the bridges destroyed and all the boats destroyed? How did Orochi know? But we still have many questions. Who the heck was it? But now we are in the present day, the flower capital. It has been 20 long years since the tragic death of the legendary samurai Kozuki Oden. It is the story of the deep grudge between the Kozuki clan and the Korozumi clan working with the pirate Kaido. In order to fulfill Kozuki Oden's wish of opening the country, the samurai leapt 20 years into the future. After several months of risking life and limb, they found like-minded allies to the cause. And here we see some highlights of Punk Hazard. Now that we know more about like Kinemon's life and stuff, because he never went to sea with Oden and them, he just hung out in Wano. The going from that to Punk Hazard is actually like so ridiculous, because Punk Hazard was kind of like the sci-fi arc of the rest of One Piece, and Wano is like 3 steps behind the rest of One Piece in the first place. It's crazy. Their fervent hopes were not in vain. All in all, they amassed an army of 4,200 warriors with weapons and ships. If all goes well, the soldiers for the raid will gather on the evening of the fire festival at Tokage Port, onward to Onigashima. If only all had gone well. All right, this is where we left them so many chapters ago, so many months ago. Standing at the seashore with these beautiful Hosokai-inspired waves, with Kinemon eager to send out a single boat, even just himself on a tiny rowboat, certain to be shipwrecked. It's better than doing nothing. Okay, stop where you are. There was not a single one of the 4,200 soldiers that should have been present, and there were signs of destruction at the port, with stormy weather all around. No escape route. Not giving up, Lord Momonosuke. Our low numbers will allow us to sneak into their midst undetected, that I might plant my katana into Kaido's neck. Yeah, right. Even friggin' Oden couldn't cut Kaido in half. You really think you can do a fatal blow? As long as we live, we shall never give up. So is the traitor still amongst them? Like, who disappeared between now and then? No one, right? Jeez. Just doesn't make sense. Does this mean our plan was leaked again? The same thing, in fact, I suspect we all did. No one consider this possibility, but it might be that one of us is in league with the enemy. At this point, I do not even want to know. Out on this boat, still arguing. If you aren't prepared to find the traitor, cut him down and move forward, then none of us can do so. Whoever does will then not confess. Yeah, Kinemon must realize, like, they've been allies for decades and decades now. Like, if nothing has made them break yet, if none of the struggles they've gone through together, if none of this, Kanjuro. It was Kanjuro. Really? So that was the devil fruit. I thought it was like a disguising devil fruit. Because when he said, you'll be one of the Kozuki, I was like, oh, okay. He's going to disguise as like Hiyori or something. But it was the sketch things and make them real fruit. That was just like a weapon they gave him. And we boiled to death in that pot together. Nothing would have completed my role better than to die with you. Ever since I completely lost my will to go on as a child, I've been searching for my place to die. The man you thought I was never existed. Shared my joys and sorrows with you all, earning your absolute trust, hating none of you and meaning you no harm. The one thing I did was continually send Lord Orochi information. Wow. Wow, this is a big betrayal. I suppose in terms of the characterization and kind of the fun we've had with the characters, Kenjiro was never all that significant for the amount of time he's appeared. Like, he was there in the Punk Hazard arc and has been popping up ever since, but we never really bonded with him the way that we did Kinemon. This will be interesting to reread the series. Are there any clues? Are there any foreshadowing to the fact that it was Kenjiro? Did you do something? Oh, my name is Kurozumi Kenjiro. That's why. Your plan first leaked out. Wasn't because Law's subordinates squealed. Shouldn't be surprised that Yasui exhibited quick, clever thinking and gave up his life to change the meeting place at the last second. But as soon as that information made its way to me, his death was officially in vain. Oh, you should not be able to reach Zou without a Vivre card. Don't you think it was suspicious when Jack showed up there? Oh my god. I didn't even think about that. But if Kenjiro is responsible for the massacre on Zou by Jack, some of the most brutalizing we've seen in all of One Piece, this peaceful, exotic land of minks, this exciting new species that we'd never really encountered much before, and there's a beautiful locales, a kind of a place of tranquility, you know, to be introduced to something like that, and then to be shown its devastation, its mercilessly culling by this unprecedentedly evil Jack. You know, that's some of the most villainizing things you can do in One Piece, I think. This Kenjiro. Why didn't you suspect any of us? Why didn't you suspect your own until it came to this? And here we can see some of Kaido's warships. They say 100 on them, 100 animal. I think that's like the literal translation of the Animal Kingdom pirates, the 100 animal pirates. Can't believe it. It really is all those Akazura samurai. Spies among them. Is that you? Oh my gosh. There's no way out of this, right? Except for Jinbei. Gotta put your faith in Jinbei. Like, who else has influence way out in the ocean in the middle of a storm going up against gigantic ships like this? I think it's Jinbei or bust. I want to see some Kawamatsu Jinbei action. I think those two could be like this. Like, they could be like super bros. Yeah, this is looking really, really rough though. Or maybe, actually, we remember that Kaido was like, well, if you catch them leaving, don't kill them. I have questions for them. So maybe they're going to get kidnapped, and it's going to be about the Straw Hats and the rest of the rebellious forces making it to Onigashima and saving them, not knowing this latest betrayal, not knowing this final tragedy. Shouldn't have made sense to you. None of it, this entire time. Oh, man. Whoa! I've kept my secret and sunk to the bottom of the sea with you. Treated my role to the very end. Lord Orochi stopped me. He said, well done, the final act is finished. Whoa, so the fact that he was a crappy artist and he could only make like really sloppy drawings that didn't work very well, that was all just a bluff? And he actually sent out the perfect Kenjiro drawing onto the boat? Is that what's up? I think that's what's up. Yeah, kidnapping Momonosuke. Yeah. That's pretty clever. Pretending to be bad at your own power such that they never suspect it when you actually use it to its full extent. Oh, the Conjuruino couldn't paint that well. Oh, baby. All right. Okay. Here come the saviors. Here, for the first time in like, what, 20 chapters, we see our beloved Straw Hats. Okay. These ways, I thought we sank all the enemy ships. Oh! And the rowboat gets scooped up by Law's submarine! Woo! I love it. Oh my god, it's like the trio, the worst generation trio, like all the way back on Sadori when they were fighting together against all the Marines. Now, with their full crew behind their back, teaming up against this greatest of evil. Don't take the sea for granted, Samurai. I saw all the ships in Samurai hanging out the other port like idiots. What are they doing? I nearly sank them all to get them out of my way. What in the world is happening? All the glory for digging down Kaido. Have we seen Kid's ship before? It looks so creepy. This big skeletal fish head. I love it. I didn't hear about this. This doesn't make sense. They said we had to sink a few samurai in a rowboat. These guys are pirates! The worst generation! Don't pick on samurai in a rowboat. When you're at sea, you fight against pirates. This is the same lineup. I always love that scene when the auction house is getting raided by the Marines, and the three of them step out together and fight. Just because it's like, I don't know. There's so much I can praise about it. There's the part where Luffy goes, "But I'm gonna be the one that finds the One Piece." It's just like, whoa, just throwing this around now. And then there's like the way that like Kid uses his power first and like sucks up all this stuff. No, actually, I think Luffy attacks first, and you can no. Kid sucks up all this stuff, and he makes like the big metal hand. He's magnet attacking them, and you're like, whoa, that's cool. But then it shows Law using Room and like swapping all the body parts, and you're just like, what the fuck? Like, this is crazy. And then it shows Luffy, and he's using Gear 3rd. He's gonna do the dragon pistol, and the Marines are like, the powers just get crazier and crazier, and you're like, oh yeah, like even though I'm so used to the Gum fruit, even though I've seen Luffy for like hundreds and hundreds of chapters now, if you take a step back and try to look at it with fresh eyes, it really is a very bizarre power. I don't know. It's just so fun. And now it's round 2. The 3 of them against Kaido. Okay, it's gonna take more than that though. I mean, it's Kaido. But yeah. We're into it now. The raid on Onigashima Island. The big climax that I thought was coming a long time ago. Instead, we had a super insane, extremely exciting flashback in the meantime. Maybe just to line up so that when we get to chapter 1000, it'll be the final blow against Kaido or something like that. Yeah, I'm looking forward to this. I really hope that all the characters get a chance to shine. What I want, and I still think this is like the gold standard of this sort of arc, is something like Ainz Lobby, where we get substantial fights, but the fights start interfering with each other because they're all taking place in the same kind of building, the same space, that all of the characters have some role to play. It keeps swinging back and forth of each side kind of revealing the power of their allies. Something like that. Let's see. Okay, bye-bye.